And a very good morning to you. Well, here I am at London's Luton Airport at just gone 6:30 in the morning. I'm off on what I would class as a bargain bucket day trip. Yeah, I had a day off work. I thought, right, what am I going to do with myself? Shall I jump in the car, go somewhere, stay at home, watch telly all day long, maybe jump on the train into London? And then I just thought outside the box just a little bit and went on a website that shows you low-cost airfares from anywhere to anywhere, really. And I had a little hunt around on there specifically for this date. And I'm on a day trip to Poland, so let's go. I'm flying with Wizz Air. I'm flying from Luton to Kraków. After I've left Kraków, I'm going to head over by train to Katowice and then fly back from there this evening. So let's see what the day's got in store. What could possibly go wrong, eh? Day trip to Poland. I'll run through all the prices at the end of the video because some of them I don't actually know yet. And but I think you'll find for one day this isn't too bad at all. So let's go. Let's see what Wizz Air have got to offer. Let's see what Poland has to offer. And let's say goodbye to this drizzly, rainy morning here at Luton. Luton Airport security. Get your step count up nice and early in the morning here. Back and two, and there's quite a bit of queue jumping going on as well, I've noticed. But it goes quite quickly. I've been through here a few times in the last couple of years, and it always looks a lot worse than it actually is. Anyway, there's always those that seem to want to try and cheat the system a little bit. Right, there we go. Through security, we're not too much bother. I have to say, when you walk into the queuing area for security, it does look a bit like organised chaos, and it's going to take forever. But I think I was through in less than 20 minutes. Which doesn't appear to be the case when you first walk in there. The queues do move pretty quickly, and the only real hold-up was waiting for one of the trays to come back through the system. But it is busy here this morning at Luton Airport, so you know, expect a little bit of a hold-up, especially with the security. They seem to be running 3 systems here at Luton. One instigated by passengers, I hasten to add. Yeah, as I was saying, 3 queuing systems on security. The fast track, which you pay extra for, about a £5, I think, not overly sure. The normal queuing system, which most people go for. And the limbo under the dividers and queue jump system instigated by certain passengers, presumably running late. You do need to allow plenty of time at airports, obviously, for all the various procedures you've got to go through, but everything, it's really busy here at Luton, and all the flights appear to be running on time this morning. I do wonder what it would be like if there was some disruption and so on and so forth. However, there isn't this morning, so that's it from me. I've been to Boots to get myself a meal deal. I've been to Starbucks to get a coffee, most of which seem to be pretty much high street prices. I didn't notice any discernible differences in costs to get those things. Certainly not going to pay over the odds prices on board the aircraft for food and drink, and that's if they turn up to do it anyway or whatever. I find it can be a bit random. But anyway, that's it now. Just got to wait about half an hour for the gate to be called and then go into the usual budget airline kettling scenario to board the plane. I'm not expecting anything different from usual, but if I do, I'll certainly highlight it on here. Otherwise, I shall see you in Kraków. would give for Luton Airport is that if you don't want to sit in the extremely busy departure lounge, head down to the gate areas, even if you don't know your gate number yet, as it's generally speaking a lot quieter down here, as you can see here. Not always the case, but generally speaking you will find a quiet spot to sit down and drink your coffee or whatever. One thing I have noticed recently going through Luton, Ryanair tend to ping you with their expected gate number. Don't take that as gospel, these things can change, but it is handy, particularly if you're travelling with the kids and children, to get down to the gate early, find somewhere to sit in comfort and relative peace and quiet. Wizz Air don't appear to haven't done that ever since I've been travelling with them, and as I recall, I don't think EasyJet do either, but Ryanair, last time I flew with them, gave a heads up on the gate number, which was pretty handy. However, you can always still go down to a gate area, take your chances. It's pretty much a 2-to-1 chance you'll be in the right area. If not, you're in the wrong area, and we'll have to make a sort of a 5 to 10 minute walk to the other gates. They're split up from gates 1 to 28 and 30 to 43, so toss a coin, see which one you fancy. And I've just been down at gates 30 to 43, and it's pretty quiet down there. There was just one flight boarding down there. So anyway, that's just a little tip. I'm going to head back to the main departure lounge, ready to get my actual gates. So I'll either be heading back down this way, or I'll be heading in the opposite direction towards gates 1 to 28. Let's see.
Wizz Air departure to Cebu, flight number 3772, final call. Now using.
Well, welcome to Poland. Now at the Kraków Central Station. I was the aeroplane from Luton was around about half an hour late, pushed back 10 minutes late, and then sat on the taxiway for quite some time due to, I think, at least, incoming traffic into the airport. So, and slightly late leaving from the stand at Luton, awaiting a tug to push the aircraft back. That's how I understood it anyway, but not to worry. We got here into Kraków round about 20 minutes behind schedule, but luckily got through immigration here fairly quickly and straight onto a train. Now I'm at the central station. I was going to just have a little peep out the station here, but I'm back here again in around about 3 weeks' time to stay in Kraków itself, so not too bothered about that. Going to jump on the train in a moment over to Katowice. Have a look around there before I head back to Luton later on today. So, so far so good. Everything's running to plan, just about. And it needs to really, because there isn't much of a plan B, should anything go wrong. Slight downside of coming this far for a day trip, I guess. Anyway, the train from the airport came in on the same platform as my train out to Katowice. So, just going to hang around here now. No point going anywhere else. And enjoy the ride over there. Jolly good afternoon. Finally made it over to Katowice here in Poland. Nice little ride there with PKP Intercity. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it in Polish, but that'll do for me. About 50 minutes. Train was on time. Got about 3 hours now here before I need to then head up to Katowice Airport and head on back to Luton. So it's a bit of a whistle-stop trip, but it's nice to have a little look around here. As I say, I'll be back in Kraków in a few weeks' time, so I'll have a proper few days to look around there. But in the meantime, I'm going to spend a few hours here. I'm just going to check out where the bus goes from, because we can't afford any mess-ups later on getting back to the airport. But apparently it's around here somewhere from the bus station. Just make sure I know where I'm going later on and what time the buses go. Takes around about 40 minutes, I believe, to get from the bus station here up to the airport. It's a fair way out. It's an Air Force base, so I'm not expecting too much there when I get there, so I'll probably take a few snacks with me for the journey, and hopefully be able to grab something in the airport. Failing that, I'll have to get an €8 meal, an €8 meal deal on Wizz Air back home again, which isn't too bad, I guess. So anyway, just going to go and suss out where the buses go from, and then have a little tour around Katowice. Be 4 o'clock then. Well, what can I say about Katowice with my very, very brief visit here today? Well, it's in one of the industrial heartlands of Poland in Central Europe. It's pretty typical of the cities and towns in Poland, I'd say. I haven't really found a particularly attractive old town area, which similar to that you would have in Poznan, for example, and also Warsaw. Then again, I haven't really had a chance to look fully. I'm not entirely sure whether there is one or not, but there's certainly plenty of open spaces to sit and enjoy a coffee or whatever in fairly relaxed surroundings. So yeah, not a bad place. Glad I came here. I'm just going to walk around now for another hour or so, then hopefully get that bus back to the airport and back to Luton, and everything will operate as swimmingly as it did on the way here. Right, well, that's been a very interesting day here, or a few hours anyway, here in Katowice. Now, would I come here again? Well, yep, I guess I would. probably there's enough for a day trip if you're coming to somewhere like Kraków. You can very, very easily get here on the train. It took 50 minutes. I'll run through the prices of stuff at the end of the video. Yeah, there's certainly something to see here. I mean, other than just the usual sort of city centre and quite a few decent places to eat, especially if you make the effort to try and work out what some of the menu says. There's some interesting choices above and beyond the usual stuff that you'll get anywhere. So yeah, give Katowice a try if you get the chance to come here. If you're more than a few days in Kraków, you might want to just pop over this way and have a look. But I'm going to hot-foot it back to the bus station now, because if I miss the bus, I'll be a bit tight if I wait for the next one, or have to wait for the next one. So I'm full up of Polish food. All I need is a cup of coffee when I get to the airport. So let's go. And we'll see how we get on with the airport bus and Wizz Air back to Luton. One thing I did forget to mention was there's also a very large shopping mall here with all the usual kind of shops you see back in the UK or just about everywhere else, plus one or two ones you won't have seen before. Just have a quick look though, prices are pretty good here in Poland, so if you need anything in particular while you're here, might as well get it. Yeah, not everything's a good value, but most of it is, and I'm certain it's going to be better value than back at the airport. Just one other thing, if you are going to come in by train and leave by bus up to the airport, the railway station is about a quarter of a mile in that direction. In fact, you can just see it there in the far distance, and there's the bus station. There are buses that pick up from the railway station, but it tends to be it looks like it's just the local city buses. Yeah, just allow that extra time if you decide to do something like this. But of course, I would advise you to allow a lot more time than that. Find out where the bus station is, and then have a little tour around and have a look at Katowice. It's very interesting actually. So there's a railway station down there. I always find it fascinating in Europe how you can basically just walk onto the railway line without any fences or whatsoever stopping you from doing so. There you go. Right, made it back to a rather drizzly Katowice airport. Right, well, if you're planning to come up by the bus, just bear in mind the time of day. It's rush hour in Katowice, and that's taken best part of an hour, so I probably need to get my skates on now and get through security as quick as I can. Still got plenty of time, so I allow plenty of time, but don't leave it too late. That bus took about 15-20 minutes longer than it's scheduled to do, but that was pretty much down to the traffic. Anyway, let's go in and see. Hopefully everything's on time back to Luton. Right, well, made it through security okay. Bit of a queue, but nothing too bad. There's about 6 or 7 flights going in the next couple of hours to various places around Europe and the UK, so it's quite a small airport, nothing too much here really, so I wouldn't get here too early if I were you, if you come in here, but on the other hand, don't leave it too late either. Assuming everything's going to be all A-OK back to Luton with Wizz Air, I'll give you a summary and a rundown when I finally get back there with a breakdown of the costs for this very pleasant day trip to Poland. Jolly good evening. Here I am back where I started about 16 hours ago. So how much did all this cost? Right, the flight from Luton to Kraków this morning cost £8. The flight back this evening from Katowice back to Luton was £12. So airfares with no bells, whistles, pre-assigned seats or any other fancy stuff, £20. I sat where I was told. The train fare in from Kraków airport into Kraków itself, the train fare from Kraków to Katowice and the bus fare back out to the airport came to the grand sum total of about £5. The main train fare between Kraków and Katowice probably would cost you a little bit more if you just pitch up on the day and buy one. I bought the ticket a week in advance off the PKP Intercity website, and it came to about £1.65. You can't beat that, can you? But I couldn't see where it was ever more than about £4 anyway, so even if you do just buy it at the airport, fair enough. Obviously I spent a bit of food, a bit of money on food and drink, but I've done that here as well. So total spend today, £25 for travel and about £10 or £12 for food and drinks, and a thoroughly good day out. Will I do it all again? You betcha. I've got a few planned in the pipeline. I'm keeping my eye on Skyscanner and 1 or 2 other apps to give me the heads up when the suitable fares become available. This is a price-led thing for me. I'll take the bargains and go to the places where the best offers are. I've got a few planned, a few ideas, and if you want to find out about those, press subscribe and they'll pop up when there's some more videos to watch. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going home for a rest. Good night.